of why it shouldn't work. And eventually I ran out of ways of trying to figure out why it wouldn't work. And I had to accept that it worked. And the numbers didn't lie. And that gave me a massive belief. Because again, this is something that goes against my philosophy in two different ways, and I trade it. And you guys know me, I am very stubborn with my trading. But it gave me a massive belief in those numbers, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, I was the same way, Andy. It was I think it was Andy who asked that, or Andre, sorry. It was it was disturbing to me, and it was uncomfortable. But the numbers don't lie. So target one's hit on New Zealand dollar, well done. If you're looking for this as not a... All right, it is game time. In just a few hours, we are going to be kicking off our Emergence 2021 online free trading workshop. It's a 4-day and up, and join us live on what to look for when backtesting. Let's start on back testing patterns. And just to give you guys some background for those who are new, one of the biggest gifts and curses, I guess you can say, in my trading career is that I back tested the wrong way, right? Back when I was getting educated on trading, I approached things, I did the right thing by deciding to get educated, but I approached things the wrong way, meaning that when I was going through training courses and whatnot, I was looking for the answer and not really focused on learning how to trade. So instead of just focusing on learning the skill of trading, the skill of reading a price chart, being a well-rounded individual, I was just looking for what are the rules for the strategy that can make me money. So when I went into the backtesting process, I had the same approach. I went into backtesting just like, okay, these are the rules. I just need to back test it because back testing is simply the step I need to take before I can trade live and start making $1 million a day or whatever like that. And what I learned during back testing is that I actually had a lot of questions, right? I would back test something, and the key of back testing is, we all do it for the results. Obviously, we want to see the quantitative data that says that what we're doing works or doesn't, right? That is important. But what's also important about the backtesting process is the journey. It is experience. I wrote this the other day. I was flattered yesterday. I got retweeted and responded to by Peter Brandt. One of the guys I look up to in the industry. We've spoken before, so I'm not as fangirl as I used to be, or fanboy as I used to be. But it was I put out a piece of micro content that basically said, I'm sick of tired of people saying trading is this get rich quick scheme, blah, 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 blah. And Peter Brandt responded and said, it took him 4 years to become profitable. And what happened after that is everyone started sharing their story. I don't know how many of you guys follow me on Twitter. I had a guy unfollow me this morning because I spam too much with tweets. I said, okay, I give too much educational, inspirational, and empowering information. Okay, I get it. I know. Okay, sorry. There's a unfollow button if you want. Feel free to use it. I won't take offense. But everyone started sharing their story. I do tweet a lot, but it's not spammy stuff. It's all educational, informative stuff, or funny sports stuff, in my opinion. But everyone started sharing their journey on just how long it took them to trade. Some guy, and it was awesome to see because there's one guy that I was like, it's funny, right? It's one of those things. We just I had a meeting with my church the other day, and we have a church that doesn't have a name because it used to be another church, and then they sold his church, so he started his own church, and they're going through the process of creating a name and becoming legal and all that stuff. It's a very long process, and he started talking about forming a men's group, and he wanted the men's group to be a place of honesty and whatnot like that, where people feel safe coming forward with their thoughts or thoughts or whatever it may be. And I felt like it was one of those times on Twitter where the majority of the time people on Twitter are just there to show their highlight reel, right? You look at social media in general, people are just sharing the best of their life. It's ESPN Sports Center, right? It was cool because when one person decided to be vulnerable, and I look at saying, hey, it took me 4 years to be profitable as being vulnerable. Everyone else felt comfortable coming out, and it was amazing. I got this warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart because people were saying, it took me 6 years, it took me this, I'm still struggling now. There was even people that came out and said, hey, it's hard for me to tell because I started investing in Bitcoin in this time, and I made like 300% gain, but I don't really think I'm consistently profitable because it's Bitcoin and it's hard to tell. And it was a cool little moment. But that led us to the conversation about experience in the market and how the best teacher in the market is experience. I do believe you need to be, well, you don't need to be, but I do believe if you are being coached or if you have a mentor, it's going to streamline that process. That's going to save you time, which is very important. You can do it by yourself. It's just the learning curve will be a lot steeper. But experience is key. And that's the cool thing about backtesting is experience, right? How many of you guys out there have backtested before? Right? You've gone through what? I don't know how many hours you spent on a chart, how many years, how many setups you've seen, right? And we always think of it as this painful process. I'm going through one bar at a time and tracking data, and half the stuff that goes into my mind that I think is going to work doesn't actually work. It works for like the first 5 trades, and I get all excited that it goes downhill and it doesn't work and I got to start over. But think about the amount of experience you're gaining, right? You're covering years of data, right? You're essentially doing this, and it's not completely the same, but if you were to backtest 10 years, right? You've earned 10 years of experience in maybe a month instead of 10 years of experience in 10 years, right? You've 10x'd your learning curve, right? It's crazy. So that experience is key. And what I learned during my backtesting experience is I started seeing things that I never thought of before because I was only looking for the answer, right? I was never curious about asking questions and whatnot. And I started seeing stuff and I would say, hey, Gil, interesting. Maybe I should try that. And of course, I was still kind of closed-minded. So when I would go back, I wasn't smart enough to be like, I should write down all of my questions and test them all at the same time, right? I would only focus on one thing because I saw that one thing as, again, the get-rich-quick scheme, the thing that would make me money.
Good morning, guys. It's Dakota back with the live stream. The date is May 27, 2021, Thursday. Yes, Thursday. And if this is your first time I'm on a call, every weekday at 7 a.m., I go ahead and hop on this live stream and talk about the pairs that I'm paying attention to. Just going through reviewing my markups, reviewing my outlook, and seeing if there's any opportunity for the day. Also, after I go through my charts, I go ahead and open the call up for any pairs that you guys request in the live chat or any questions or anything like that. We can talk about all of that after I get through my 3 pairs. And yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about. All I ask is that you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell. And let's get to it. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so yesterday, think we talked about these setups yesterday, right? Talking about EURJPY, yesterday took EURJPY around the time we had the call, or after, like actually hours after we had the call. Took it off the 50 Fibonacci level, and honestly I was a little uncertain with that entry, but nevertheless I did take it, and I decided, okay, if price retraces further to 61.8, I'll go ahead and take it there. Price did get to the 61.8. Now, when I got home, it was about 10:30, which I usually go to bed at 10. And I noticed that price got here, my alert went off right here, so I stayed up for about another hour. Yeah, I stayed up for about another hour waiting for my entry signal. It never came. I went to sleep, and then like 45 minutes later, my entry signal came for the second entry. So this will go down as a missed trade, and only have this position on right now. Missed trade because of sleep, basically time, which I'll have to go through and actually see how many times that's happened this year. My fault. On this pair specifically, because this is my first year trading EURJPY. I just decided to, I backtested it in December. I'm like, let me trade it for this year. It's backtesting really well. Let me see what results I can get. Looks like I need to put my books back under my laptop. Or, no, that's the wrong way. Okay. Alright, so right now I'm looking for a scaling opportunity. If one does occur, I'll just tell you guys. If it does, I'll send out my entry for it. Again, I don't want to be too detailed with that. I'm still working on it, and honestly, I don't plan on like sharing it too much in the future, because it still entails like everything. Like, in order for that setup to happen, other things need to happen, like with this base strategy that I'll show you guys. But that's EURJPY. Let's go ahead and get into the full markup of it and see if there's another opportunity. So on the monthly, going to be box price in right there and right there. Let's go down to the weekly. We have another range right here. And just looking at the weekly, what I'm looking to happen right here, price is in obviously an uptrend, a pretty aggressive uptrend right now, and I'd like to see price get into this range here, and I mean that's what I'm looking for. Price is right at this supply zone, so it's possible that it could reverse. It's possible that it could reverse, so just being aware that that could happen. Should be ready to play defense if it's necessary, but ideally I wanted to push up. And what new? Well, so we have an uptrend here, and we have a tighter uptrend right there as well. Draw. Okay. Now in this scenario, I want to delete this trend line. Just to have less lines on my chart, but for some reason I feel it's necessary. If I delete it, I'll probably redraw it again. Alright, so here we have an impulse, here we got a corrective pattern. Now corrective pattern is just in a bad area for us, possible selling opportunity here. So we'll see how price approaches this high here. Would love to see just price just push past it. That would be amazing, right? That would be great if price just continue pushing up. Now, if price breaks this high here, I'll go ahead and move my stops higher, about to my entry level. Not necessarily break even. It depends what level. It depends what level hasn't been tested at the time. And that's pretty much it. Right now, we're just waiting to see if price breaks through or if price breaks its trend line. Price breaks the trend line, we wait for a corrective pattern here. Price breaks through, we continue adding to the position, looking for a correction and looking for another opportunity to enter. Also be looking for scaling in opportunities. At this moment, I'll only look for one scaling opportunity instead of two, just because of the area that we're in. It's not really a high probability area. Oh, let me keep that stuff up. Okay, again, if you guys have any questions or any pairs that you want me to go over before the call ends, please go ahead and type in the live chat. If you have any questions of a strategy, I'm more than happy to go over that as well. But it's pretty, I know a lot of you guys already know about it. Let's go to the next pair, pound dollar. Now, pound dollar. Ooh, man. Let's just take a step back real quick. All right, let's just take a step back at what's going on this pair. Because I tell you, when I've been looking for entries on this pair, I've been looking for entries on this pair. The initial setup off the daily time frame. After we got this reversal, price formed a daily bullish pattern. First entry opportunity was here. I missed it because I was sleeping. It was too late. Second opportunity was here. I don't know why I missed it. I think it was because I was sleeping. I don't really remember. It may have been Sunday night, something like that, when it came, which it looks like it was. So I missed it. And then some stuff happened here where I got stopped out instead of being able to scale into the position. And you guys know what happened here, right? I actually think I caught one of these. I caught this one, but I missed that one. But anyway, there were a ton of opportunities I wasn't able to fully capitalize off of. Been looking for an entry and then looking for price to get up to this high here. Price is pretty much already at that point. And we can see last night for the setup that I had, which I'll show on the other one, price got to my entry level. Unfortunately, entry signal didn't come till this morning, so wasn't able to take that either. Let's go to GBPUSD. Alright, came right to the entry level, which at the entry level we're looking for entry pattern. An entry pattern did happen. So the only way for us to re-enter this is, or to get into this trade, is if price comes back down to this area. For me right now, I just had an idea, which I'm definitely going to test. Like, if I miss this, wow, yes, I'm definitely going to test that. Give me 1 second to write this down so I don't forget. I'm just going to put this PL here to track it. Actually, we're about to delete everything on this chart. We'll put the PL there afterwards. I just had a late entry idea. Like, if I'm having this recurring problem of my entries are coming late, which pound dollar, at least when I was day trading, those setups didn't come like that late. Usually, like, they would come like at 11 o'clock. I'll be up at 6 waiting for the setup, and then it wouldn't come until about 11, sometimes even 3. No, 3 o'clock was dollar Swiss. Around that area. But definitely 11 for pound dollar. Okay. So let's go ahead and delete this, do a full markup. lock the price in here. Yeah, we'll do that. And here too. You can see price is just bullish right now. Wouldn't it be so shocking if a reversal came? Okay, on the 4-hour time frame. Really off the daily. The prime setup here, I'm looking for price to test this area. So I would need price to come down again. But the way price would have to come down in order to make this a valid setup for a buying opportunity does not look good, right? It would have to be pretty aggressive to get down to that level right now and not violate that trend line. So I'm not really too interested in that buying opportunity anymore. So I'm not going to draw the zone. Now the buying opportunity here that we just had, we do not do that. Those are here at this level or about this level, basically testing this area here. So right now, only other way to enter at the moment is if price comes back down to this level or to this zone and gives me another buying opportunity, which I wouldn't like that to happen. I mean, I'd like it to happen, but if I was in this trade, if I took this trade, original trade originally, I wouldn't be looking for that to happen. And that's the full markup on pound dollar. There's not much, like all I'm waiting for is the next impulse, the next correction. This is just if it happens. If it does come back, I'll reevaluate, see if there's an entry pattern there, but most likely no. Oh, okay. Dollar Swiss has something nice for us today. I'm gonna mark it up on here. Let me make sure I don't have anything. I am tracking the limit order. Let me just write down the parameters because I want to do the full markup on here. So this is the limit order idea that I talked about. Told you guys building sample sizes of just limit orders when I see them, limit order opportunities, and usually, I mean, they get hit when they come to my entry zone, which I did not check for pound dollar. Let me check that too. Again, if you guys have any pairs you want me to go over, go ahead and type in live chat. Also, if you have any questions, you can type it in the live chat too. If you have charts, if you're just a phenomenal trader, you just know your charts are going to smack. You just know your charts are going to smack. You can go ahead and send your charts out to the Discord server. The link to the Discord server is in the description. All right. What I've started to see is people send their charts after it hits TP instead of before and after it hits TP. I definitely recommend, if you're gonna send out your charts, I don't like everyone. Some people shouldn't, just because they may be in like a development phase and can be easily swayed by other people's opinions, and you don't want that to happen. But if you are going to send it out, I recommend sending out the before it happens, so people don't just think you're just trying to stroke your ego. And so that you can build your own confidence. Forget what people think. So that you can build your own confidence. Like, in whether it's a winner or a loser, you trusted your analysis and you were trusted enough to like put it out in front of other people. Okay. So we have that written down, and I have to do one more thing on GU. I have to see if there was a limit order opportunity here. And I'm gonna do it now. Yeah, let's do it on here. So I should have the other setup hidden. There you go. Wow. Okay. There's always another opportunity. So we have 4-1. Was that the entry level that I put down on, what was it, Wednesday or Monday? It was the entry level I put down. 4-1. Yeah, with these missed opportunities because of sleep, limit orders are looking better and better every single day. Okay, finally, dollar Swiss. Starting on the monthly, gonna head box it in here. Okay, I was wondering why that was looking weird. I have a different broker for this one. No, whoa, don't do that. What I just hit? F1. Okay, going to the weekly time frame. It's nothing to do. Price is pretty much boxed in. Let's go to the daily. Go back to the weekly. I think I just saw something that was pretty interesting. All right, so what I've been talking about here is that we have an impulse here. I'm waiting on the corrective pattern to form here, right? But what I just saw with the weekly is we have an impulse here and there's a possible correction that can form here. Regardless, the next major swing that I'm looking for is for price to push back up. Right. So once this trend, or if this trend ends, go ahead and look for price to push back up regardless. So long term, looking for buying opportunities. Eventually, one day, not today though. Now going down to the daily time frame. Daily, we have a downtrend here. We can draw a tighter on lower time frame. Can we box price in any more? Kinda, maybe, yes. We can go ahead and put one right there, and we can slap a supply zone right there too, and we have this range that price is reacting in. Go down to the 4-hour time frame. Reset that chart. It looks like we're doing some more risky business today. Downtrend right here. Alright, so this is where your heart shows. This is where the work shows right here. Because right here we have a supply zone telling us to buy, but right here we have a downtrend and we have a bearish correction telling us to sell right here at this moment. Right now, you got to execute or you got to miss the opportunity. Okay, I was playing, but now I'm serious. It's really there. Okay, let's go back to the 4-hour. So this trade is a 2-to-1. I don't like that. Just give me 1 second. And I know in my trade plan I haven't settled on the minimum risk reward ratio, but obviously it has to be like 100% has to be at least a 2-to-1. But I haven't written it down yet. I'm actually I spoke with my mentor and we talked about converting it from because at the time when I was day trading, this is when we talked about it, 2-to-1 on pretty much every trade, and then he was like, why not a 3-to-1 to cover your losses, things like that, so multiple losses. And then I noticed when I started backtesting that and testing it, that a 4-to-1 was happening on most of my trades. Like price would push past my targets and continue pushing and pushing. All right. Hey, good morning, Naboo. Is that okay? I don't know how that happened. I don't know when that happens. But thank you. Okay, back to what I was saying. Let's just do a quick replay on everything that we just talked about. I'm not sure when it turned off. I'm not sure how it turned off, but I'll have to figure that out. And let me bring this up just in case that happens again. Cool. Alright, starting with EURJPY. I took this position on EURJPY yesterday. Currently in profit. Price came down to 61.8 where I was looking for a second entry. Where is that? There it is. Looking for a second entry. Price came right down to that level last night. Unfortunately, I was sleeping and entry signal came, so couldn't take it. Which brings up another like limit order example. So let's see if there's a limit order entry here. Hide that. What level do I have? I have 133 here. Okay, so the limit order here would have been activated. Let's go to ATR. So with the limit orders, I'm leaning more to the side of what is it called? Leaning into the position. So putting my my entry level a few pips above where my entry zone is. It obviously depends on the situation. This says 10, no, 12. I'll put 12. Even though I could get a higher R, but I'll put 12. Spread can be wild sometimes. Okay, so this was EURJPY. Just have this one position on. And going to hide that one. Next we have GBPUSD. GBPUSD missed entry here. Limit order opportunity did come. So gonna be logging this, tracking it, and seeing if we can start implementing those limit order opportunities. So the same thing came while I was came at night, came while sleeping. Going to dollar Swiss. My man, come on, why am I not focused? I'm tripping today. I need to calm down. Let me take a breather and reset again. No matter what, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna do it right before I end the call. Alright, starting one more time. I appreciate you guys sticking with me through the struggle that I'm having right now. EURJPY. Got our entry yesterday, and there was a limit order opportunity. Okay, limit order opportunity came at 133. Leaning into the position instead of right at the entry level, just to account for certain things that could possibly happen, and looking for that buying opportunity. So we'll see how that is, and I'll log it in my journal, whether it plays out or hits SL. GU setup played out, or yeah, fully set up, played out. It was like perfect setup, but it happened again while sleeping overnight, right? So wasn't able to take the opportunity. There was a limit order opportunity in this example, so I'm going to be tracking that and logging it later. Now, dollar Swiss. I didn't have a setup for dollar Swiss. Just saw this setup this morning, and it's a selling opportunity right now, and it looks like it's actually getting better. So I'll take one more look at this. You're so close. Yeah, I have to do 18. I can't do any lower than 18. It's so close, but it's not there. Just to double check, you guys can hear me and see my screen, all right? So there is a scenario that I see here that I would be willing to take this position. Since I have no answer, I'm assuming, well, it may be lagging. I'll wait a second. If price gets back up to this level, would that allow me to take it? I'm just at this point looking for any way to take it. Because I like the opportunity. Now with this sell, if it does come down, I don't expect it to come down very aggressively. I expect it to come down pretty correctively, honestly, or at least finish out correctively. I'm liking it. And is there a limit order opportunity here? Possibly. Obviously would have preferred to come a little bit higher, but we'll see how things play out. Those were my pairs for the day. You guys, it looks like no one requested any pairs today, so I'm gonna go over what was previously requested. I'm probably gonna have like 5 different blocks of going, like, just to go through and timestamp on the same pair, same setups. 80 USD. I've been looking for price to scale up to this point and give us a selling opportunity. Looks like price is scaling to get to that point. Ultimately, the major move that we're looking for is price to come down to this area, give us a buy setup, and look for a push up. Now, what I'm seeing here is a possible head and shoulders forming. With that head and shoulders, yeah, I still need that level to be tested. I still need to see price come up to that zone before pushing down, honestly. That's what I would be waiting for, so no change here. EURJPY pushed through that trend line and gave us a buying opportunity. That failed. That went through trend line. That's breaking through. I know we haven't talked about that. Hasn't really started yet. Okay. No, this is a personal chart. No one requested EURUSD. Your GBPUSD is starting that sell. Let's come down to the trend line. Don't we have like a position we're tracking here? Alright, so yeah, we do. We have entries in this area and in this area. I'd close them. Yeah, I'd close them now. So I wouldn't be tracking that anymore. We already talked about GU. Okay, the original buy setup on dollars or pound Swiss is starting to play out. I ultimately switched my bias and pretty much switched my bias right before the move, but it's fine. So we didn't catch that. I won't count that for this week. And I think that's everything. We haven't been too many requests this week. Okay, now that's done. There are no requests and no questions. let's go ahead to the daily thoughts and then close out the call. I feel like there was something that I wanted to talk about specifically before I hopped on the call. I'm struggling to remember. Okay. Let's check real quick. Yeah, I'll do that right after. Okay. So nothing specific that I actually had on my mind. So I'll piggyback off of the podcast I was listening today, which is the trading coach with the Kill Stokes. And the one that I heard today, or the one I guess that we heard on at the beginning of this live stream, is talking about back testing. And I don't know if when it started, like when I hit live, but he was talking about how he started off backtesting the wrong way. And when he was backtesting, he was basically just looking for every perfect scenario where his setup played out. And I'll say, like, I did something similar. Originally, what I thought was backtesting, let me show you guys. Originally, what I thought was backtesting is just scrolling all the way back and then just finding every example of when your setup actually happened. Okay, nothing happened there. Oh, it happened here, so I'm going to go ahead, mark that up. Okay, it played out. Oh, it happened here, so I'm going to mark that out. Oh, it played out. That type of thing. And that was before, like, I started paying for TradingView and, like, found out about the replay function. But just looking for every perfect scenario, like, it helps build confidence in the setup, but it doesn't prepare you for the losses that you're going to have with that situation. That's why I love the replay function. That's why I love, like, soft FX, because, like, it's actually playing bar by bar and giving you basically a legitimate simulation of how the market may be. Kind of, all right? But there's more that goes into that, like actually how I track my backtesting. I started using Notion early on. But with Notion, I wasn't really keeping track of legitimate stats. I was just saying, oh, these are all my confirmations, which is good. It built my confidence and helped me, like, to start asking myself the right questions about, do I have all my confirmations in this scenario? Should I be taking this trade or should I not be taking this trade? Is this a rush trade or is this a proper taking trade based off these fundamental ideas, fundamental occurrences in the market? So it helped me to build that patience. It helped me to build more confidence in my setup and what I saw. But after I finished, I didn't really have much data to actually do anything with and didn't have anything to improve, right? So I may have done like 400 trades like that, but I couldn't grow off of it because it was just checklist. The only thing that I could grow off of with that is going through the screenshots and seeing certain things happen, or going through it and then actually go and collect the data, which I started to do a few months ago. And some of them I don't, like some of them I won't, because like I don't trade the same way. But some of the backtesting sessions, I'd say. But while you're backtesting, definitely recommend like keeping track of the stats, keeping track of where you're entering, keeping track of where you're putting your stop loss. Also build like possibly alternate scenarios where, okay, if I use this for my stop loss in this situation, how would that be on this particular trade, and track them for all the trades. So now you have like what you usually do and then what you could have done, and then you can compare the results at the end. Also for your targets, say, okay, this is where I'm setting my targets right now. What if I put my targets here? Or what if I put my targets here? Which is more profitable? Which plays out more often? Am I looking for a higher win rate, or am I looking for a higher return? All right, and probably one of the most important things is what type of drawdown do I experience with this strategy? All right, that's one thing that I didn't track when I first started backtesting. I wasn't even focused on the drawdown. I wasn't even focused. I was just focused on winning. Right? I wasn't paying attention. I don't think I was even paying attention to risk management at the time when I started backtesting. But for the first time, I definitely wasn't. But yeah, paying attention to like the possible drawdowns that could occur. Like if you backtest like 5 years and see, okay, my highest drawdown backtesting is about 13 trades. So let's say I risk 1% on each trade. If I know like my worst so far over the 5 years I backtested is 13 trade losing streak, that could happen in live trading. So am I willing to take a 13% drawdown? If not, what can I do to adjust that? What's leading to those 13 losses? Or yeah, what's leading to those 13 losses? If it's inevitable, why not lower your risk? Or something like that. Just make an adjustment. Alright, dollar Swiss alert went off. That's it for the daily thoughts. I really appreciate everyone hopping on. Hope you guys liked the stream. If you did like the stream, show me by hitting that like button. Also, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification bell to keep up with future videos. Remember, in the description, link to the Discord server is there, so you can share your charts, share your ideas, and keep track of all the charts I'll talk about on here. Alright, I'll send the screenshots out there. If you guys want more details on them, just go ahead and message in the general chat. Also, link to my Instagram is down there. I don't really get on there a lot. I really just post when I do these streams on there, and then like when I do that, I like a few posts, and then I'm out. Right? I don't really like being on social media too long. But I will catch you guys in the next one.